Hello and welcome back to the Outer Worlds. Last episode, I had run into a bit of trouble with these people in this alley, and I'd gone through like more than an hour's worth of dialogue and gameplay, and Supernova mode is pretty unforgiving in that sense. So instead of subjecting anyone watching my videos to go through all of that again, I just completed all of the things that I'd done, and by skipping through the dialogue and all that. So here I am. One difference that I did though is on my level up for level 13, instead of putting everything under sneak, I put everything under dialogue. So that means that I now have 65 persuade, 55 lie, and 55 intimidate. So when I speak to Elijah, I'm going to be able to pass that dialogue check. So let's try this again, but just to be on the safe side, I'll put in my I'll equip my get out my assault rifle.
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
I'm making it my business.
Oh yeah? What are you saying exactly?
You bullied people long enough. If you know what's good for you, you'll clear out and never come back.
Wow. Most of the pencil pushers around here cave as soon as you look at them funny. Fine, we're going. This ain't worth it.
And you know, when I was killing them, I noticed the my reputation with Sublight was going down as well. So yeah, if I want to have good reputation with these guys, it's better off not killing them off. So I think this is the best outcome, so to speak. Auntie Cleo, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get to Revered unless I get some more quests for them, but I think I did all of them in Roseway. So yeah, let's go. So now this one is asking us to tell Sanjar. This one's in Amber Heights, so for Tucker. And I picked up the one for Mr. Pickett's biggest game, so that's a task that Sebastian gave us. So yeah, now we have check with Celia about the poster for Grimm. And yeah, I did not recruit Nyoka, but I did do her Passion Pills quest real quick. Same way as I did the other one. The last time, I should say. So yeah, I think what we're going to do next is go speak with Celia about the poster and talk to Sanjar as well. Because I believe we've picked up everything that we can here. Let me just do a real quick check. So this is the dock, there's the yacht club. Yeah. So I think we're good to go to the MSI building and speak to Celia and Sanjar. Yeah. Alright. So MSI building it is. If I can find it. It's the biggest building in town. But what's in here? Oh yeah, that's the yeah, I forgot I didn't go speak to the chef here, Chef Raymond. But yeah, for those that don't know, he's part of a quest line, a companion quest line for Parvati. You need to go get some kind of food item from him for her date with Junlei. So, but we're not going to be doing that since we have not recruited any companions in this playthrough. Alright, there's the building. So we'll talk with Celia first and then talk to Sanjar.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir. Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
What was that exchange about? You having money trouble?
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Yeah, I read. Maybe I can talk to him for you.
Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
Wait, I'm curious. What do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
You really want to be with someone you can't talk to?
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
That's all I needed to know.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
I'll talk to you later, but I actually want to talk to you about...
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say?
No, I have not talked to him about... Yeah, I was just literally here. Grim asked me to check with you about his tossball poster.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Alright, thanks, I'll do that. Sanjar.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
No, you have a meeting with me.
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here?
I'm just looking for the information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for salt tuna.
Hey, it could always be both.
Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
What exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon. Why not embrace it?
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Fine, but how do you mean to do that?
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
This Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Ordnance or ordnance?
An ordnance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here. Not like Graham's iconoclasts.
Can a legal document really be that important?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Why are you saying it that way?
Saying what? Which way?
Arms. You're saying arms instead of arms.
That's just what it's called. It's supposed to stand for something, but I forget what.
Fine, I'll see what I can do.
Good enough. I know when to settle. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Before I go, I need to ask you about something.
What can I do for you?
Isaac Rose is dead. I found the people who killed him.
But that's terrible. What happened?
It was Elijah and his hooligan friends. I ran them out of town.
I'm glad to hear you've dealt with them. They've been causing quite a bit of trouble around town. I've been consumed with other matters of late, but I would have dealt with them eventually.
If you say so.
It really was on my to-do list. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services.
I have questions about MSI in the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Do you mean that you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
What happened to the other corporations?
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
How forward-thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
I take it your leadership didn't embrace your ideas?
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else.
Yet here you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
That's low, even for them.
I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Why exactly do you want back on the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon. To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Leverage?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
What's the hazard clause?
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous. For the greater good. Allegedly.
And they invoked it on Monarch?
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
You don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
Maybe you should give them a chance.
A chance? They've been doing this for years. And well, let's just say I know enough about Graham to be confident that he won't change. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
I want to talk about something else.
What can I do for you?
I met Grim, the landing pad guard.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
I've got go. Level 14. So, I'm finding that Supernova, sometimes the dialogue is the best way to go to get around certain situations where combat can be fairly difficult. So I think I'm going to raise dialogue by 10 again. And also, no, sorry. Let's exit out of that. All changes would be lost. Yes. Okay. So no. Yeah, I'm gonna raise persuade by 10. Or no, 5 here and then 5 in sneak. And then on the perk side, I'm going to pick soliloquy or soliloquy, whatever how it's pronounced. Bonus to dialogue skills when you have no companion in your party. So this is going to be super useful. So you look at the skills now. I have 80 in persuade because of the lone master, the Raptidon handler's armor, and the soliloquy. And yeah, my lie is up as well. And so yeah, I am getting good values here. I'm going to spend the next levels though, potentially raising maybe tech or stealth, I don't know. Alright, so let's go tag this one as active. We're going to go speak with Velma at the warehouse about the poster. So she's working out of the oh, I'm thirsty. Let's drink one of those here, purple berry juice. Let's drink that. And warehouse is on this end. Yeah.
Smells like wrapped in here.
Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Sebastian to cover up the saltuna smell.
Trust me, this is worse.
So this is basically a, I don't think it's a cannery, is it? Yeah, saltuna. Oh, the dock area. I think we had the quest here to... Yeah, Lilia Hagen has a lead on some expensive salvage. When the board abandoned Monarch, several factories and research facilities were left mostly intact. While the majority of those locations have previously been stripped of valuable resources, sublight agents on Monarch recently discovered a hidden laboratory with a cache of Alta Vitae gas. Lilia needs an independent captain to retrieve the salvage, and Lilia hasn't heard back from her agent in Stellar Bay. Retrieve the information he's holding on the salvage location and deliver it to Catherine Malin in Fallbrook. But unfortunately, the quest description doesn't say, you know, to check out the dock area. So this is actually, if you don't use the quest marker, it's pretty easy to miss. But yeah, here's the sublight contractor. Bloody note, crumpled note found on a corpse in Stellar Bay. Most of the text on this note is obscured by blood, but you can make out the words Lilia and passcode Antediluvian. And this is a shortcut, or, you know, to go to the Stellar Bay ruins. Sublight ID cartridge. So that may prove useful. Yeah, so now the quest is updated, saying that we have to meet with Catherine in Fallbrook. So, yeah. Let's tag this one back to active and go talk to Velma. I don't think there's anything else worthwhile in this factory here.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Catherine said she'd shove you in a box if you keep running your yap like that.
Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Your chief what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
He'll come back eventually. You can't constrain a person's freedom.
I can't keep working double shifts either. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
I'm here about Grimm's poster.
This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it?
Who's Nell?
She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too.
She does sound easier to deal with.
I don't have time for Grimm, even when I'm not working doubles.
Let's talk about something else.
Fine by me.
You said Braxton had been stealing drugs?
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Why didn't you turn him in?
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free.
Okay, what's this about your foreman?
Caleb Herrick. Runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials. He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more.
I can talk to Caleb for you.
You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it? I'm joking. Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance. If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there.
Who's this Catherine you mentioned when I first came in here?
Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer.
Let's talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Why can't you give him his pay increase?
I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
They're hard workers, aren't they? Don't they deserve some compensation for that?
Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work. Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
Are you willing to meet Caleb halfway?
For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Fine by me.
And I'll talk to you later, actually. So this is interesting. I've been to Braxton's apartment already. And, yeah, I found all of the places, although, wait a minute. Did I... Yeah, when I reloaded my game, or actually when I died when Isaac and his... not Isaac, but Elijah and his hooligans beat me up and killed me. Yeah, I did go to the apartment and I did search his apartment. So let's go look again. I hope that this isn't bugged because I'm going to be pissed. This isn't Braxton, is it? No, this is what's his face? Isaac. I'm getting a little bit confused. Okay, so the apartment is here. So maybe it's upstairs? Yeah, right. Laura's in here. Boo.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
I'm looking for Braxton. Have you seen him?
Braxton? I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
You've been taking drugs.
No! Okay, maybe, just a little. Braxton always has a good stash, and I just like to let loose a little. Stop thinking about the marauders and the raptidons outside, you know?
So you do know Braxton. Where is he now?
Oh, damn. He told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick, and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
That's all I needed. Alright. So now it says to investigate that house in the south. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to go try and convince Caleb to return to work. And he's at the yacht club, which is this way. He's actually upstairs.
New face, huh? You from Off-World?
Yep, Captain Cyrus of the Unreliable.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell and revel with us?
What are you celebrating?
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking.
What could be so bad it made you walk off the job?
It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor Velma goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay.
We need to talk about Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna lie here. Sanjar's going to fire Velma if you don't return to work.
I never meant to call for anyone's head on a pike. Velma's not my favorite person, but she ain't been cruel to us. Devil it all. Now you got me feeling sorry for her. Fine. I guess we'll go back to work to save Velma's job. We'll find a better time to negotiate our wages. Tell Velma not to worry. We'll look out for her.
Okay, cool. So let's go inform Velma. I want to complete as much stuff in here before I head to the wilderness. And before I head to the wilderness, I will go back to my ship and save my game.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Let's talk about Caleb.
You knocked any sense into him yet?
Caleb and his crew will return to work immediately.
Sweetest words I've heard all day. Thanks for your help. You've gotten me out of a tight spot here. Take this for your efforts. Honest work deserves honest pay. Something else on your mind?
I'll talk to you later. Alright. So that's done. Then so we're going to go talk to Nell at the toss ball betting, which we met earlier. It's over here.
If it isn't the famous hacker, enjoying Stellar Bay. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so when I redid this conversation with her, since my dialogue skill was high enough, I was able to lie and say I was a famous toss ball blocker, or whatever. Yeah. You said you were having trouble receiving the toss ball game transmissions?
Graham's always filling the airwaves with this propaganda, like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes them real hard to watch.
Velma tells me you outbid Grimm for a signed tossball poster.
Signed by the Black Hole himself. There's no way I could pass that up. Why, did you want to see it? I don't have it yet. I'm waiting on a few customers to pay up before I can give Velma the bits.
I think it's really brave of you to outbid Sanjar's best friend.
You mean dopey landing pad Grimm? I didn't know he and Mr. Nandi were friends. I guess that changes things. Fine. Tell Velma that I don't want the poster anymore. I'll find something else to hang in my shop.
That's all for now. Alright. Oh, I'm getting tired. So, let's finish this up real quick. So I have to go talk to Velma again.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Can we come to an arrangement on Grimm's poster?
Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering.
Nell's no longer interested in the poster.
That's a surprise. Tossball being part of her business and all. Take the poster then. And if I never hear another word about it, it'll be too soon. Something else on your mind?
Nope. Alright, so that's done as well. So there's this one where we have to go ask Sebastian to go on a date with Celia. This is me running around town like a madman.
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Let's talk about Celia.
Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff.
She likes you.
Nice of you to say. I like her too.
No, I mean she really likes you.
And I gotta admire anyone with her passion for canid hides. But you don't have to butter me up.
You idiot, I'm trying to tell you she wants to date you.
Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm? Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for raptidon tongues.
Don't take my word for it. Spend some time with her. I promise she won't ask for a discount.
You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice. Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
Alright. So that was simple enough.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say?
He said he'll go on a date with you.
Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia. I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on?
He likes you, Celia. Just don't ask him for any discounts.
Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
All right. So let's go talk to Grimm, and I think we'll be good to head back to the ship after that. Keeps tagging the main quest again as soon as I complete one. Grimm tomorrow.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in.
Here it is.
Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
Cool. Is it just a normal tossball blocker? Pro tossball blocker. Yeah. Not sure if it's actually a unique item or not, but I'll store it since it's a gift. So, next episode we're gonna work on one of these side quests or faction quests. This one here is located in the ruins south of the town here. This one is in Hamber Heights, so that's further down south. This one's in Fallbrook. This one's in the Arms building, so that's in the other end. So I'm thinking maybe what we'll do is we'll come out here and do this. Yeah, that's the one we're going to do next episode. And this one, if I remember correctly, is pretty far down. Yeah, south of Fallbrook, pretty much near. Just near Fallbrook. So we'll go have a look at that when we're in the area. So yeah. We'll end the episode here, so see you on the next episode. Bye.